Guys, it is January. The first ever movie review of 2018 starts with January movies. And guess what? It starts with a horror film. Let's see how it goes.
Please, there's someone right in front of you. I don't see anything. Be careful. You're going to touch it.
Insidious the Last Key, instead of calling it Insidious Chapter 4, stars the return of Lynshire, and it's the fourth installment of the Insidious franchise. Basically, this movie is about Elise, played by Lynshire, the paranormal investigator that we know her from the Insidious movie, is now taking a bit of a tougher case, where this guy has called her to take the spirits out of the house, but she finds out the home that these guys live in is the actual home that she lived in her childhood. So instead of that, she has to relive her past, relive her fears, and try and stop these ghosts from taking over. Now, I really do love the first three Insidious movies. Insidious, one of my all-time favorite horror films. One of those horror films that really scared me. I never get a horror film that scared me so much with Insidious. James Wan's a great director there, and he made a sequel, which I also thought was very underrated. It's a good sequel. Very good sequel, and then we have the third one, which I wasn't excited for, but surprisingly, it was very enjoyable. So I have the same feeling as Insidious the Last Key. I'm kind of excited because through chapter 3, I wasn't, but then it's kind of good, so I'm thinking I should feel the same way. But if there was like my least favorite franchise out of the Insidious movies, it'll be Insidious the Last Key. Now, Insidious the Last Key by no means is a terrible film. It's just okay for what it was. But let's talk about the positives of the film. First, Lynshire as Elise. Of course, I loved her throughout the Insidious movies, and she still plays the same character that we know her from the Insidious movie. I think she did a great job. You can follow her through the whole movie. I think she's the only cast member that I did enjoy from the movie. The rest of the cast, which I'll talk about in my negative. And some of the scares in this movie, they did quite clever in some scares. Like there's a scene involving a case, which I'm not going to spoil, but I think they did that scene really well. There are some scares that are quite clever, but I said some of the scares, not all of the scares. That is in my negatives as well. But what I mostly love about this movie is that they show Elise's childhood, which I wish that is turned into a movie, because the way that her childhood is handled, and the way it's like executed, it's really good. Like, I wish that was a movie by itself, how Elise became a paranormal investigator, how she believes in ghosts, because that is what I wanted to see, but we didn't get much of that in the movie, and that's what goes to my negatives of the movie. Most of the scares of the movie were really off. They're like the most cliche jump scares we have seen many times before. And I said in my positive, some scares are clever. They are. But I said some of the scares. Most of the scares in this movie are just really average jump scares that we've seen many times before. Like someone look at something, and then bang, jump scare, pops out. And we just get that stuff many times in movies before. And this movie was a little bit boring. Like some of the scenes in the movie that I was like, did I really need to put that? Like there are some humor in the movie, and I'm like thinking, does this movie really need to have humor? Like, seriously, it's not funny. There's like a really, like, awkward joke in the film that I'm just thinking, who wrote that joke? Like, seriously. And the rest of the cast members of the film were very forgettable. Except for Lynshire as Elise, she was great, but the rest of the cast members were so forgettable. I can't even remember each of the cast members' name. I can't even remember each of the characters they played, because they're very forgettable. And we just didn't get much of Elise as a child, because I was more interested in that. From the start of the movie, when we see that, I was very interested. I wish that was a movie altogether. Guys, overall, Insidious the Last Key is probably my least favorite out of the Insidious movie. It wasn't a terrible movie. It's just a bit of a forgettable movie. It's my least favorite out of the Insidious franchise. Some of the scares I thought they did quite clever. Lynshire was great, and some of the childhood scenes of Elise I thought they handled really well. I'm gonna give Insidious the Last Key a C. So guys, I hope you guys like my thumbnail for this video, I decided to do something a bit different with the thumbnails. Instead of always put the cartoon version on me, I just decided to put my actual face. I use preview, you can crop the stuff, so I'm like thinking, why not just keep doing that? So guys, have you seen Insidious The Last Key, or what it should have been called, Insidious Chapter 4? What do you think of that movie? Comment below, let me know what you think, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and have a nice day.